Well, good afternoon. Happy Friday, May the 13th, Friday the 13th. Mark Milam coming to you with this week's interest rate summary and market update. So interesting week for interest rates, and you kind of get the feeling, we've been on this track all year long of interest rates just ticking up every single week. Very dramatic increases in interest rate. This wasn't a gradual increase. We've lost at least 2.5 points of pricing power since the tail end of 2021. That's an awful lot of loss. That's an incredibly steep curve in terms of interest rates going up, but you're starting to get the sense that maybe, just maybe, we've seen the peak of inflation last month. We saw a CPI number at 8.5% last month. The new CPI number that just came out this week, looking backwards 30 days, wasn't as low as what we hoped. We hoped it was going to come in at 8.1. That was the expectation. Came in at 8.3, just a little bit higher. But it's the first time we've seen a decline in quite a while. And that decline, that indication that yes, inflation is going to be persistent, it's going to be tough to beat, it's not going to go away quickly, but we are on the backside of it now, that perhaps maybe now we can start to watch inflation fall month over month over month as we move through the balance of the year. And hopefully we can move closer. We're not going to get all the way there, but we can move closer to the Fed's target rate, which is 2%. So we came in at 8.3 this past week, and we got that reading on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we got the PPI, which was the producer price index, which shows another measure of inflation. Let me show you some of these numbers just so you can see them. And so here down here at the bottom are the actual reports. Bear with me 1 minute. Let me get it into my screen. And we can see that on the 11th, the CPI, the consumer price index, came in at 8.3 versus an expectation of 8.1. Stripping out food and energy, we're still a little bit hot, 6.2 against 6.0. And you can see what happened in the market. Wednesday, not a particularly good day on May the 11th. We did see a very steep sell-off at first, but bounced back rather nicely. And then the PPI number coming out on Thursday, the 12th, came in just over expectations at 11.0 versus 10.7. The core number for the PPI came in just under expectations, which was welcome news. But we fast forward to today, Friday, May the 13th, and we can see consumer sentiment came out at a reading of 59.1 against an expectation of 64. And really, all of these numbers, they start to blend together after a while, but that one's noteworthy because we haven't seen this low of a level of consumer sentiment in quite a while. Matter of fact, I think you have to go all the way back to 2011, I believe it is. If we take a look here at the consumer sentiment index, it's at an 11-year low. I haven't seen consumer sentiment this low in 11 years as worries about inflation persist. And if you read through the article, it's going to continue to say, hey, that we think now inflation may have peaked. We're starting to see some import prices coming down. Again, it's going to be a slow decrease, but we hope now that the worst of inflation is behind us. And mortgage interest rates are reflecting this. We didn't pick up a lot of ground this week, but we did lose a lot of ground this week. And this is one of those weeks that not losing is the equivalent of winning. There's sometimes in any sport or in any endeavor where not losing is the same thing as winning. And right now for mortgage interest rates, not losing ground is considered a win, especially when you look in the rearview mirror and how far we've come here in the first 4.5 months of the year. So going into the weekend, if I can be of any assistance to you, please don't hesitate to reach out, mark.milam@highlandmtg.com. Have a good weekend.